Hey, Shalom, first and foremost, all praises, glory, and honor goes to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahushai Ba'ashem, Kakudash. Double honors to the elder apostles, a great millstone that taught us this truth. Salutation, all I can pushing this word day in and day out, doing this quick lesson. It's an article I saw from the Men's Journal, and it says car payments average about $800 per month. All right. And, hey, that's the spirit, 9:11 a.m. Amen. This economy is in a state of emergency, man. All right. Let's look up the U.S. debt chart. U.S. debt clock, man. All right. U.S. debt clock. Right now it is 39 trillion. So I believe this year it's going to hit the 40 trillion mark, man, on paper. Which really is way more than that, but on paper, it's supposed to hit the 40 trillion mark, man. So that's something that I never, ever be paid for, man. All right. I know in the U.S. debt clock, there's auto loans. I believe there should be an auto loan section. Let me see. Like Trump has a big issue on his hand. Esau in general. All right. There's no way you can pay off the national debt. And even the everyday American, there's no way you can pay off your vehicle for the average American. All right, so it says car payments average $800 per month. Says the average new car payment exceeded $800 per month last month. Yeah, because I remember about a year or two ago they were saying about $600-700, and people were complaining like, damn, that's fucking high as hell. So now it's $800 per month, man, for a brand new vehicle. That's why used car prices are shooting up excessively. 1 in 5 buyers are paying more than $1,000 per month. Yeah, so having a new car in general is a rich man's game, man. Or a person doing good, you know. You got a lot of social media followers. You got a lot of engagement. All right. You got a lot of Slocky, I was reading something. You got a lot of traffic for whatever website or Shopify, you know, clicks. Because, you know, most people, or you have a stable job, right? You know, that's paying you well over 6 figures a year. All right, because most people, man, they can't go in a dealership and be like, yeah, I want vehicle XYZ. You know, my credit's A1. Hey, that's spare phone had to chime in. My credit's A1. My debt to income is off the charts. Okay. So, hey, man, the Lord is getting ready to collapse this place, man. They scriptures talk about crashing of the hills. All right, so meanwhile, negative equity poses a problem for more than 30% of buyers. 31% of used car trade-ins had negative equity. So basically, let's say you owe, say $15,000 on your 2018, right? You trade it in, it's only worth like $10,000. That's negative equity, all right? So it's all designed to keep you in debt, man. And so it looks like they're going to have to go with beyond a 7-year loan. You're going to have 15-year car notes real soon. the way shit is moving, man. All right. That's why you got a lot of cars sitting on the lot. And one thing I'm noticing, you drive past a dealership. I remember back in the day, it'll be at least like one salesperson every time you drove past a dealership. One salesperson on the parking lot, with a client or customer, you know, showing them the bells and whistles they have. Like, here are your options. Now you don't see that no more, showing you that this auto loan collapses around the corner. So let me get some precepts, man. This is Zephaniah 1, and I'll start at 10, or actually 9. In that day also, in that same day also, will I punish all those that leap on the threshold, which fill their masters' houses with violence and deceit. Isn't this the violent land, America? All right, this is a violent, deceitful land full of scams. Even this usury, this loan system is deceitful. The money system's an unjust weight. All right, I mean, this land was taken by force and violence. So it's going to go down with violence. All right. Like, think of everybody, and I know people that are doing well. Do you know any of them with a brand new car? Hell no. And it says, and it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshua, that there shall be the noise of a cry from the fish gate, and a howling from the second, and a great crashing from the hill. So you're going to have different type of collapses, or some auto loan collapse, housing collapse, everything's through the roof, housing's through the roof. I remember I was in North Carolina last year, right? And if you've, lived in the mid-Atlantic where I'm at, or even more north, Carolina was always known for, like, cheap. People used to, I remember it was a time, I'm this old. I'm not an old man at all, but, I can remember 15 years ago, people talking about, I want to move to Carolina because it's cheap. So I was in Carolina. It was about almost a year ago. Maybe like we're in April, late April, going into May. So maybe about, say 9 months ago. I was in Carolina. And while I was there, I remember while I was there, I remember looking up, the average rent in Carolina, and it was high as hell, man. No different than where I live now in Maryland, pretty much, man. In the city I was at, of course, you go to the little lesser populated areas. Of course, it'll be cheaper. All right, so shit is fucked up out here. But this economy, this dollar, this fiat system is so pumped up. It's not gonna crash overnight. It's a steady collapse. Like, it's been a steady collapse since. Lucky allergies. It's been a steady collapse since 2008 to now. So we're in a time of the final hammer of the collapse, man. And it says, how ye inhabitants of Mactash, talking about the stock market because Mactash was a merchant city, trade city in the ancient world. So it's the same thing today. Now everything's digital stocks, digital. I remember there was a time we wanted to do stocks, you had to actually use a stockbroker. You don't even hear that term no more. Like in the 90s, that was like a thing. If you're a stockbroker, you're getting paid. And here's the kicker: you're getting paid whether the stock performed well or if it did bad or if it flopped. You're still getting paid because you're just a middleman. You know, you had to call the stockbroker, and then the stockbroker. I don't know the exact details of how that process worked back then, but the stockbroker, he'll be plugged in with Wall Street, and then he'll, get you some shares. But now, you know, that doesn't even exist. So a lot, thousands, if not millions of people lost that job, had to go in something else like real estate or whatever. For all the merchant people are cut down, and all they that bear silver are cut off. So, hey, man, these people, they getting ready to be cut off, man, because this economy, was designed to fail. People thinking that Trump was going to make Babylon great again, make America great. Nah. Like, even this situation, the cards he was dealt was like too much for him. And it says, and it shall come to pass, in that day I'll search Jerusalem with candles and punish them. The men that are settled on their leaves and say in the heart, the Lord will not do good, neither will he do evil. Yeah, because these niggas think that, this is this rat race. That's all this place is a rat race. It's just going to keep going. It's just going to keep moving on autopilot until 2050. That's an average nigga mindset, man. Therefore, their goods shall become a booty. Their houses of desolation, they shall build houses, not inhabit them. They shall plant vineyards and drink, but not drink the wine thereof. All right, so, hey, man, you're going to have all types of investments and shit. You ain't going to be able to reap them, man, because, martial laws, Jacob's trouble is about to be at your door. The great day of Yahweh Shem Yahushua is near. It is near, and hasteth greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord, the mighty man shall cry there.